The failure of the first Snow White adaptation has sparked a much broader conversation about Disney's creative direction, or lack thereof. Whispers are growing louder that the studio, once synonymous with groundbreaking animation and timeless storytelling, is losing its way, prioritizing trendy social messaging and hollow updates over genuine heart and narrative substance. Critics and fans alike are pointing to a pattern, a string of recent live-action remakes that feel less like loving tributes and more like cynical cash grabs, often sacrificing the very essence of the originals in the process. Think Pinocchio, Peter Pan and Wendy, and even The Little Mermaid, films that, while visually polished, have largely failed to recapture the magic and emotional resonance of their animated predecessors. The Snow White debacle, however, feels different. It's not just a lukewarm reception, it's a full-scale rejection, a vocal uprising from the very audience Disney has always relied upon. This isn't just about one movie underperforming, it's about a potential erosion of brand loyalty, a growing sense that Disney might be losing touch with the very values and storytelling principles that built their empire. The pressure is on, not just to make a successful movie, but to prove to a skeptical world that Disney still gets it, that they still understand what made them special in the first place. Looking ahead to this reboot, the casting of Snow White herself will be absolutely critical. Disney needs to find someone who can embody that classic, almost ethereal beauty and innocence, while also bringing a modern sensibility and strength to the role. The online speculation is already rampant, with names like Florence Pugh and Elle Fanning being thrown around. Actresses known for their versatility and ability to project both vulnerability and inner steel. But beyond just star power, Disney needs to ensure this actress truly connects with the material and can articulate her passion for the original story without triggering another PR nightmare. The media training will undoubtedly be intense, but authenticity can't be manufactured. The new Snow White needs to genuinely embody the spirit of the fairy tale, not just recite talking points. And beyond the lead role, the casting of the prince, the evil queen, and even the reimagined forest creatures will be under intense scrutiny. Every decision will be dissected, every detail analyzed, as fans and critics alike look for clues about whether Disney is truly committed to a course correction or simply offering lip service to appease the angry masses. The margin for error is razor thin. Ultimately, this Snow White reboot is more than just a movie project for Disney. It's a referendum on their entire creative direction. It's a high-stakes gamble to regain lost trust, to prove they can still tell timeless stories with heart and wonder, and to remind the world why Disney magic was, and can be, a real thing. The next few years will be a nail-biting wait, not just for Disney executives, but for millions of fans worldwide who are desperately hoping that this iconic fairy tale can be resurrected, not as a hollow imitation, but as a vibrant, enchanting return to form. The fairy tale giant has stumbled, and now the world is watching to see if they can truly find their footing once more and remind us all why we fell in love with the magic of Disney in the first place. The clock is ticking, and the pressure is immense. Can Disney pull off this fairy tale turnaround? Only time and a whole lot of creative magic will tell. And it's crucial to understand that this isn't just about disappointing box office numbers this time. The spectacular failure of the first Snow White adaptation has ignited a far more profound and uncomfortable conversation about the very soul of Disney, about its creative compass, and its increasingly precarious relationship with its core audience. Whispers are turning into outright pronouncements that the studio, once the undisputed gold standard of groundbreaking animation and emotionally resonant, timeless storytelling, is demonstrably losing its way. The accusation is that Disney has become fixated on chasing fleeting trends, prioritizing virtue signaling and superficial updates over the foundational pillars of compelling narrative, genuine emotional depth, and the sheer magic that define their legacy. Critics, longtime Disney aficionados, and even casual moviegoers are increasingly pointing to a deeply concerning pattern, a relentless stream of recent live-action remakes that feel less like heartfelt tributes to beloved classics and more like calculated, often cynical, attempts to mine nostalgia for quick profit, frequently at the expense of the very essence of the originals. Consider Pinocchio, a lifeless CGI spectacle that paled in comparison to looking ahead to this high-stakes reboot. The casting of Snow White herself has become an almost unbearably critical decision. Disney isn't just searching for an actress, they are on a quest for a symbolic figurehead who can embody that almost ethereal, iconic beauty and inherent innocence that is synonymous with Snow White, while simultaneously projecting a nuanced, modern sensibility and a quiet, yet undeniable inner strength. The online speculation is, predictably, already a frenzied free-for-all, with fan castings and wish lists dominating social media feeds. Names like Florence Pugh, with her captivating blend of ethereal grace and steely determination, and Ella Fanning, known for her delicate beauty and ability to convey both vulnerability and resilience, are frequently thrown into the ring. Actresses who possess the rare ability to project both classic Hollywood glamour and contemporary relatability. But beyond sheer star power or internet buzz, Disney absolutely must ensure that this actress isn't just a pretty face reciting lines. She needs to genuinely connect with the source material on a deeply personal level, to articulate a passionate and authentic appreciation for the original story and its timeless themes, without inadvertently triggering another PR firestorm with ill-considered or tone-deaf comments. The media training regimen will undoubtedly be intense, almost Orwellian in its scope, but genuine authenticity cannot be manufactured in a Hollywood workshop. The new Snow White needs to organically embody the very spirit of the original fairy tale, not just parrot carefully crafted talking points approved by a phalanx of studio executives. And it's not just the lead role, the casting of the Prince Charming, or whatever updated iteration he may become. The deliciously wicked evil queen, and even the potentially reimagined and hopefully less controversial forest creatures, will be subjected to relentless scrutiny. Every casting announcement will be dissected, every costume detail analyzed under a microscope, every line of dialogue scrutinized by legions of online armchair critics, all searching for definitive clues about whether Disney is truly committed to a genuine course correction or merely offering carefully crafted lip service in a desperate attempt to temporarily appease the angry masses and salvage their stock price. The margin for error in this incredibly delicate and high-pressure situation is thinner than a fairy's wing. Ultimately, this Snow White reboot transcends the typical parameters of a mere movie project for Disney. It has morphed into a high-stakes referendum on their entire creative direction, a public trial by fire for their brand identity, and a potentially make-or-break moment for their future relevance in a rapidly evolving entertainment landscape. It's a colossal, multi-million-dollar gamble to regain the irretrievably lost trust of their core audience, to convincingly demonstrate that they can still craft timeless stories imbued with genuine heart, authentic wonder, and emotional resonance, and to emphatically remind an increasingly skeptical and fragmented world why Disney magic was, and crucially, can still be, a real and vital cultural force. The next few years will be a period of nail-biting anticipation, not just for anxious Disney executives huddled in Burbank boardrooms, but for millions upon millions of loyal fans worldwide who are desperately hoping, against a backdrop of recent disappointments, that this iconic, foundational fairy tale can be genuinely resurrected, not as a hollow, CGI-laden imitation of its former glory, but as a vibrant, enchantingly fresh, and emotionally resonant return to the storytelling principles that made it beloved for generations. The fairy tale behemoth, once seemingly invincible, has demonstrably stumbled, and now the entire world is watching with a mixture of morbid curiosity and genuine hope to see if they can truly regain their footing, recapture their lost magic, and remind us all why we fell in love with the enchanting world of Disney in the very first place. The clock is relentlessly ticking, the pressure is almost unbearable, and the stakes for Disney's legacy and future could not be higher. Can Disney pull off this seemingly impossible fairy tale turnaround? Only time and a truly potent dose of genuine creative magic will ultimately tell. And perhaps, just perhaps, a little bit of pixie dust won't hurt either.